Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video we are going to be reviewing Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. And this is the sequel and second entry in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and it was filmed back to back with the third film at World's End. Now I know this film was really beloved, and don't get me wrong, there are certain moments in here that I really like. However, there are also other moments that I really did not like and really did not care for. So for example, all of the scenes in the islands are absolutely iconic, absolutely brilliant, truly hilarious, and really is Pirates of the Caribbean at its best. And also the returning cast are all really great as well. However, the new cast members I just really did not like. So for example, I really did not care for Davy Jones. I didn't think he was as good as Barbossa was at all. Beckett I thought was a really weak and pathetic villain as well. And also the Kraken was just given so much screen time and was just a bit of an annoying sea creature villain. Obviously he's very grand and very destructive, but I just thought all of those new aspects really took away, unfortunately, from everything that the previous movie, Curse of the Black Pearl, set up so brilliantly. But that being said, Dead Man's Chest is definitely worth watching, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, all of the surviving cast members from the previous movie are back, and all of the interconnected storylines are back as well, which is really cool. So first up we have Will wanting to obtain Jack's magic compass, which takes the person to any location that they want to get to, and he wants to obtain this so that he can pardon the arrest that is over his head and over Elizabeth's head. By contrast, Jack wants to clear the blood debt that is over his name with the Davy Jones character, and he will obviously do anything and cross anyone in order to do so. And we also have the Norrington character kind of stepping up to be more of a bigger player in this movie, and he wants to re-establish his position and the rank that he had in the previous movie. We also have the Will Turner character coming face to face with his father and thereby wanting to free him from Davy Jones's capture, and as such has a very strong motivation as well. We also have some really nice island rescue scenes which I thought were absolutely brilliant as well. Jack Sparrow's character is being held captive by a group of island cannibals, and they want to sacrifice him, so all of the other characters are trying to rescue him for their own personal motivations. And then when we go back to another island, all of those island sword fighting scenes are absolutely brilliant in terms of who is going to have the dead man's chest, as all of the different characters have their own particular motivation for that. But like I said, the Davy Jones character was just not that great. Whilst he was a bit threatening, I just could not take him seriously, and I just thought he was a far cry from the brilliant Barbossa character, and actually better villains in the fourth and fifth movie as well. But from a storyline point of view, some bits were great, but unfortunately some bits weren't that great either. So from a casting characters point of view, like I alluded to earlier, there were some hits and some misses, so let's go through them one by one. So first up we have the brilliant Johnny Depp back as the iconic Jack Sparrow character, who is still as iconic and hilarious as he always has been. In particular, I absolutely love that scene where he's wanting to hide all of the rum and the alcohol from Elizabeth after she burnt it all in the first movie, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. With that being said, his storylines weren't as gripping as they were in the other installments, as it was all about the blood debt that he has towards the Davy Jones character and the Kraken that is after him as well. So I just feel like whilst this character is absolutely brilliant and the performance by Johnny Depp is absolutely awesome, unfortunately the script really lets his character down. Next up we have Orlando Bloom, who is back as the Will Turner character, and this character has a lot more edge and a lot more spunk to him in this movie, as he's even turning on the Jack Sparrow character to save his own life and to save Elizabeth's life, which I thought was really complex and really different to the first movie. That being said, in Pirates of the Caribbean, everyone is always turning on each other anyway, but I really like the extra dimension that they gave to this character with his father now being introduced and him wanting to save his life. Next up we have Kiera Nighy, who's also back as the Elizabeth Swan character, and similarly to the Will Turner character, she goes down a much darker path in this movie, especially what she does towards the Jack Sparrow character at the end of this movie. Next up we have the Norrington character. He's a character that's typically overlooked as he's not part of the core three, especially as far as the trilogy movies are concerned, but I thought this character was really interesting as well. He was one that was even able to outsmart Jack Sparrow and the Will Turner character when they're all trying to fight for the dead man's chest. And he definitely has his own motivation in terms of being a more human-esque type character that's just looking to get back his rank and his position, and he's happy to step on anyone and do anything in order to get this. So I actually thought this character was really interesting. However, we then have Bill Nighy, who is introduced in this movie as the Davy Jones character, and this character got 2 movies dedicated to himself, a bit of an octopus character that is looking for dying soldiers to join his crew. Sounds pretty deadly, but I just feel like the execution of this character was just really, really lame, and I was just not brought into this character at all. And then also we have Tom Hollander being introduced as the Beckett character. He's supposed to be a really intimidating, really forceful, really powerful character, and does do some pretty dark things, and he has got a lot of people kind of running after him. But I just feel like the execution of this character was also not that impressive. A more refreshing new character being introduced was the Bootstrap Turner character, who, like I said before, really added a new dimension to the Will Turner character and really gave him some motivation in terms of wanting to free his father. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And so from a casting characters point of view overall, some hits, but unfortunately some misses as well. So from a visuals point of view, very similarly to the character side of things, some scenes in this movie are absolutely exceptional, but certain things do drag out a little bit. So on the positive side, all of the scenes on the islands are just absolutely insane. I absolutely love all of the sword fighting and the battle for the dead man's chest. That was absolutely really, really brilliant. And the cannibals that are after Jack Sparrow and then after all of the other characters was absolutely fantastic. So all of those island-based scenes were absolutely really, really cool. The Liar's Dice game that the Will Turner character plays against the Davy Jones character, that was quite cool as well. However, we then have all of the very excessive ship battle scenes. They were really nice the first time you see them, but they really did drag them out. And then the mission that the Davy Jones character has in terms of kidnapping people and kind of keeping them on his ship does sound really deadly, like I said before, but the execution of it just wasn't that impressive. And so from a visuals point of view, while certain scenes were absolutely magnificent, there were some others that just weren't as impressive. So from a comparison point of view, first let's compare it to the other Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So I don't think it's as good as the first one or the fourth and fifth one, but I think it's so much better than the third one, which is also pretty dragged out and doesn't have that many great characters in there. Definitely check that review out if you haven't seen it already. And again, we have to do our Monkey Island comparisons. So I think there's loads of comparisons, again, that you can make with the Monkey Island franchise. Just the world and the lure and the way in which the characters operate is very similar. But that being said, in particular, the fact that they have a voodoo priestess is literally a lift and shift from the Monkey Island game, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And also, in the first Monkey Island game, they also have some island cannibals in there as well, which definitely inspired what was happening at the start of this movie as well. So from a comparison point of view, I don't think it's as great as the other Pirates of the Caribbean movie, well, apart from one of them. And I also think that there are lots of lifting and shifting happening from the Monkey Island video game point and click franchise as well. So overall, I have to say, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest definitely did have some absolutely awesome moments in there. Very talkable, very iconic, very powerful moments in there, which definitely made it stand apart from all of the others. However, there were just certain characters and other moments that really let it down, and as such, I don't think it was as impressive as the first movie was. That being said, it did still make $1 billion in the box office, so it definitely did do one or two things right. And so for all of those reasons, I have to give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.